There are people in the arts who can say no to you. They can decide that you are not right for the role. They can pass on the manuscript. They can reject the grant that you applied for. They can choose another dancer, another director, another singer, another filmmaker, another artist. And because their decisions can change what happens next, it is easy to start to believe they have more authority than they actually do. They may control access into a room that you want to be in, but they do not own your artistic identity and calling. Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist Podcast. I'm Lara Pilcher, author of Audacious Artistry, keynote speaker, life and creativity coach, and fellow artist. This is the podcast for artists and creatives who still feel called to create, but are tired of striving, comparing, waiting for permission, and wondering if their work still matters. Here, we talk honestly about the inner life of being an artist, the doubt, the courage, the burnout, the money, the waiting, the visibility, and the audacity it takes to keep showing up. Let's begin. The artist problem. Well, gatekeepers are real. I don't think it helps artists when we pretend that they aren't. Actors need casting directors, producers, directors, and agents. Writers need editors and publishers and readers and booksellers. Dancers may need choreographers, companies, schools, theatres, or funding. Musicians need venues or audiences or producers or labels or programmers or collaborators. And filmmakers often need money, distribution, festivals, crew, and people willing to take a risk on them. Even artists who build their own platforms still have to deal with algorithms when they're showing up online, which may be the quietest and strangest gatekeeper of all. These people and systems can affect our opportunities. And yes, they can affect our income. They can affect how quickly our work reaches the world. So when I say gatekeepers do not own your calling, I am not saying that their choices do not matter, because they do matter. A rejection can really hurt. A closed door can cost you time, money, confidence, even momentum. The problem begins when the gate becomes the entire artistic landscape for you, when your creative life becomes nothing but waiting for the email, the audition, the contract, for somebody to say yes, waiting for somebody with more power to confirm that you are allowed to keep going and call yourself a valuable artist. You can become so focused on getting through one particular door that you stop noticing the rest of your life. I know because I've done it and I have seen it over and over again. You might stop building, stop experimenting, stop connecting. You stop making things that do not require the permission of the gatekeepers. You stop asking what else may be possible with my life. And without meaning to, you give the gatekeepers authority over more than the opportunity. You actually give them authority over your identity. When I moved to the United States, acting was a major part of the dream. We moved to Atlanta partly because of the rich history of film and television production that was happening here. There had already been a huge amount of sacrifice involved in moving my family across the world from Australia to the USA, and I was ready to work. I was ready to audition. I was ready to build my acting career in America. And then I signed with my first American acting agent on the first day of the industry strike. The timing was almost comical. I had finally reached this important door and the whole industry stopped. And alongside that, I also had visa restrictions. I was waiting for a change of status situation that prevented me from working in my primary art form of performing for a long time before that in the US. And before that, there was the big COVID lockdown, and I was in Melbourne during that time and everything shut down. I could not simply try harder. I could not network my way around the law and the strike. I couldn't make it end. I couldn't force the industry to open. The door was just closed. And I had a choice. I could spend that whole stretch of my life wishing, staring, trying to read all the things about when it's going to change and what's going to happen, what it's going to look like. Or I could ask what was still mine to build in this season, to create. That did not mean acting stopped mattering to me, because it mattered enormously. It meant acting could not be the only place where my artistry was allowed to live. Creativity is bigger than one expression. Creativity is this force underneath those of us who love to create, is a high value for creative expression. And I still wanted to tap into that value. During that time, I built more of my creative business. I wrote my book, Audacious Artistry, the book that found a traditional publisher. I created the group study guide. I grew as an ICF PCC coach, speaker, writer, and creative leader. I built a life that was wider than one part, one industry, one agent, or one opportunity. Now, in this season, I am auditioning again. And I still want the work, and I still care, and I still feel disappointed when something I hope for does not happen. But there is more joy in my life than there used to be, because an acting opportunity is no longer responsible for proving that my creative voice and that proving that my move here to the US mattered, that my talents matter, or that I'm a valuable or even real artist. My creative life is bigger than one door. So I want to talk about what's actually happening, if this is resonating with you. Gatekeepers often become too powerful inside us because they appear to hold the answer to a much deeper question. The question may look like, will I get the role? Will the publisher say yes? Will I receive the grant? Will they accept me into the company? But underneath the question may really be, am I good enough? Or maybe it's, am I still a valuable artist or an artist at all? Another question underneath might be, did I waste my time training or doing this? Was I foolish to have this dream and to believe in this? Does my work as an artist, do I even matter if nobody important even chooses it? That is a lot of weight to place on one email or one audition, or maybe years of auditions. It is too much weight to place on one decision made by someone who may have 1,000 reasons for choosing differently. Gatekeepers make decisions about fit, timing, money, or taste, risk, casting, programming, branding, capacity, who's already on their books, and what they think they can sell. Can they make money? Sometimes they make wise decisions, and sometimes, like all human beings, they make poor ones. Sometimes the answer is no, because maybe your work is not ready yet. That has happened to me. And sometimes it is no, because the opportunity is actually wrong. Sometimes it's no because another person was simply a better fit. Sometimes it has almost nothing to do with you. You may never know. But when you make their decision the final authority on your creative identity and worth, you hand them something they were never qualified to hold. They can tell you whether you got that opportunity. They cannot tell you the full meaning of your creative life. The shift is not to stop knocking. Please keep auditioning, keep submitting, keep applying, keep pitching. I certainly do. Keep training. Keep building relationships. Keep pursuing the rooms and the places that matter to you. But please stop spending your entire creative life standing outside the door. Ask yourself, what can I create, build, practice, strengthen, or begin without waiting to be chosen? Now, your answer will look different depending on your art form. It might mean writing the short film instead of only waiting to be cast in one. It might mean arranging a small reading of your work rather than waiting for a major theatre to program the work. It might mean recording the song, even though you're not really sure it's finished. Starting the rehearsal, making the first draft, building a relationship with another artist. These little things build momentum. And it's okay to start messy. It's okay to start small. You can refine from there, creating a small version of the project while you wait for the funding for the large one. It does not need to replace the larger dream. It simply reminds you that not every part of your artistry is locked behind somebody else's gate. Choose one outside the gate. Just choose an outside the gate action. I'm not saying 10, just one. Something you can do this week without needing an acceptance email or a contract or a grant, an invitation or permission. Keep knocking, but build your life and your creativity while you're waiting. This whole idea connects really closely with Facing the Giants, and it's a guidepost in my book, Audacious Artistry. Some creative obstacles are large, some people hold real power, but large does not always mean all powerful. So here is the question I want to leave with you. Which gate have you been staring at for so long that you have forgotten what else is yours to build? Thank you for listening to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. If today's episode spoke something into you, my book, Audacious Artistry, Reclaim Your Creative Identity and Thrive in a Saturated World, goes deeper into this conversation. You can also download the free 10-week group study guide and walk through the book on your own with a friend or with a group of artists. Find the book and free guide at larabiancapilcher.com/book. Until next time, keep creating, stay audacious, and remember, your artistry matters.